right, Tracey.
Okay, so when I first read this excerpt, I really liked it because the first thing that came to mind was Auntie Uju. And I thought of her in comparison of Pride. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Because I thought of how the relationship between Auntie Uju and the general. And then I thought about how Pride was basically telling Ifemilu that you don't need love when you get married. You need someone that can support you financially, and it's basically based upon wealth. And that's when I got the comparison between Auntie Uju and the general and their relationship, because I thought that Auntie Uju was in this relationship for wealth. She needed somebody that would help her maintain her life or help her financially be stable, and it would be easier for her to have somebody who she knew that was financially stable, so it would be easier for her life, so she didn't have to do anything. And then I also referred that to patriarchy. She would have to basically sit at home or be his mistress or his side woman, and she never had to do anything. She would only have to is it she would only have to like give to him, like basically support his needs is basically what I'm trying to say. And then I also thought about the relationship between Ifemilu and Ray Nudo. Yeah, Ray Nudo. I thought about the relationship between them because, as we all know, that Ifemilu, she got into these relationships when she came to America, and they were all based upon opportunity. So when she got into these relationships, it was like when she can't receive anymore, they can't give anything else. It was like she got sort of turned off. And that's where I have a comparison when it came to iPhones. When you get an iPhone and you're so excited that you have this iPhone, it's like, oh, well, everybody geek this iPhone up, and I'm so ready to get this iPhone, and let's see what it can do. And then, like, after like a week or two, it's like, okay, so what else? Mm-hmm. What else can it do? So that's where I had the comparison between Ray Nudo and Ifemilu. Ifemilu knew that she wanted to be with Obenze, but when she came to America, she cut him off because she felt as though she was making a new life for herself, and she really didn't need him. But as we come to find out, as the story progresses, she's really like, yeah, I need this man, and I'm just trying to get rid of him. I'm trying to forget about him through these other people, and I'm trying to find, but meanwhile, she's trying to find him in other people. So it's kind of like, how do you forget about somebody when you are looking for somebody else, looking for them in the other person? So I had that connection because Ray Nudo, she was marrying for love. So she really didn't care about the wealth or how somebody could, how her desires for wealth really like intertwined with this relationship. It was basically, I love this man and I want to marry him. And that's when I thought about Ifemilu, how when she knew she wanted to be with Obenze. She never really cared about, she never really underestimated his abilities of how financially stable or how wealthy he would become when they grew up. But she knew that that was the person that she loved ever since they were younger when they met at school. So it was kind of like that comparison between them two. And then I also want to refer to the theme of love, because I felt as though there was no sense of love in this excerpt, because, well, the only sense of love was between Ray Nudo and whoever she was going to marry, but I felt as though Pride was trying to eliminate love out of every situation. She didn't feel as though this woman knew what she was doing, because how do you actually, well, the way that they were brought up is to marry someone who could help them financially. Like, the love didn't matter. It was based upon who can support my life, where do I have to not do the most work at, where I just need to support their needs, and I don't have to go out and work, which is also referred to patriarchy, where you sit in the house and you do all these basically sexism, where a woman is supposed to sit in the house and cook and clean supposedly, but then the man is supposed to go out and work. But it's like gender roles. Why can't we switch? Like, why does it always have to be the woman who has to do these things? Well, why can't we switch our roles? Why can't you cook one day and I go to work one of these days? Why can't we make it work together? Why do I have to do one thing and you have to do that one thing? And it's like, it's kind of unfortunate.
Right. So, it's clear you had more than 5 minutes of commentary prepared because I cut you off, I can tell. So one of the things that you didn't get to that I want to give you an opportunity to get through, I'm sorry, in our dialogue is, given what you know about Chimamanda, right? Because I know you were going to bring that up. Why do you think she chose to approach relationships in this way?
Because like based upon like the stories that we read already, I think about realism. She's basically basing these relationships on reality, and these are how relationships actually go. Some people do marry for love, some people do marry for wealth, and she just wanted to bring that to light. I think she wanted the people not to just literary, but actually think about the contemporary issues in the world and how people do not love others, but they actually go out and they try to play this role like they love somebody, but in the end, there's no real love. There's, I'm going to marry you for this. It's like in movies, like when you see Medea's family reunion when Lisa was, her mother was forcing her to get married to this man because he was so wealthy and because he could support her financially. When she also had a job, she could support herself, but the mother was so eager to push her to, you need to marry this man because of what he does, and I have to fight my life for you, and so you can have this beautiful life and all types of things. So I kind of felt as though it was like based upon realism. I think she approached this because every day we see people out, like there's no real connection between people, and that's why I feel like people have difficulties with relationships now. And I think that she also wanted the people to actually read in between the lines, because some people would just, the text would just stick to them, and it was just like, well, yeah, they didn't do it for love, they did it for wealth. But actually, she wanted people to think, why did they do this for? Why didn't they do this for love? Like, what was so big? How does love doesn't pay the bills? You said this before, but how do you sit up here and you sit in somebody's face every single day and you don't have any type of feelings toward them, so to speak? Like, how do you, like, I think that's kind of weird to me that you sit in somebody's face and you don't actually have no sort of connection, so to speak, but you're sitting here spending their money. So that's how I feel.
So how does she develop love? Because you brought up love a lot, or the lack thereof, as a theme when you were doing your commentary. So as you look at the novel in a continuum, how does she develop the notion of love? What does it look like at inception? And then by the end of the text, what does it look like? What's the development?
Okay, so the development, there's many relationships that Ifeanyi has. She has this relationship with Auntie Uju. She has this weird relationship with her parents. She has this relationship with DK. And then the other like intimate relationships with Blaine and Kurt and Obenze. And I feel as though the theme of love developed because at first it started off as Ifeanyi coming back to. Okay, it started off as Ifeanyi coming back to Nigeria to get her man back, but when she starts the story over in between the novel, she's like conflicted. She leaves because Lord knows, doesn't know why this woman left. She left because she was ready to start a new life in America, and I feel like the love that was developed was based upon her identity. She didn't know who she was, so she didn't know who she wanted to love. When in fact she knew who she wanted to love, but she didn't want to love them. She wanted to find love in others. So I felt as though the theme of love developed with the development of her identity. And as we progressed to the end, I felt as though she still didn't know who she was at the end, because it's like when she's like sailing come in, it's like their love is starting all the way over and they're going to start from the beginning. But in fact, this man is still married. He has a child. And you basically have nothing, like you're starting your life over. And I feel as though with her identity and love intertwined, I feel as though there is no sense of love. I honestly feel as though there is no sense of love.
Okay. Thank you, Tracey.